Welcome to week 14 of the Sharing the Light broadcast. I'm Lance Dixon, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in to hear another week of our Sharing the Life broadcast. Last week, I spoke about the fact that I want to be transparent in all of these broadcasts, and I didn't really have a lot that I wanted to talk about last week. I want to share information that's helpful to the listener. But last week, I was kind of in a drought. So thank God this week I do have a little bit of information that I can share. And I hope that everything is going to be helpful to you. I want to start by sharing a concept that was introduced in one of my earlier books. Mental Martial Arts, a book that I co-wrote with Dr. James H. Hudson. We came up with a concept called IPR, and it's a method of emotional control. The idea behind IPR is that when we are engaged in communication, it can be a little stressful or get intense. Instead of responding in a manner that is inappropriate because we are overcome with emotion, we gather our thoughts and take control of the situation. IPR stands for Identify, Pause, and Respond. We want to identify the fact that we're being affected by our emotions. You might be feeling a little tense due to a verbal attack. There may be an anger response, a frustration response, or a fear response. You want to be able to recognize this and identify it right up front. Once we've identified that we have certain things that are going on inside of us emotionally, these can be physical effects such as muscle tension, hyperventilation, sweating, or rapid heartbeat. All of these things can be indicators that our emotions are getting out of control. After we identify it, we pause and allow ourselves to calm down from the emotional state. You give yourself about a 30 second to a minute. Take deep breaths, don't respond, just kind of get yourself back together. And after we make that pause, we start to regain control of those emotional factors. That's when we respond to whatever the situation may be. We have two methods we can use for that response. We can either engage with the verbal attack calmly with a well thought out response that we came up with during our pause, or we can disengage from the situation altogether. And sometimes, depending upon how severe your emotions are, disengagement may be the best option. But the whole idea of IPR is that we are taking control of our emotions. It's a method of emotional control. So remember, IPR, identify, pause, and respond. This is a concept that I came up with. Well, actually, I didn't come up with it by myself. Dr. James H. Hudson and I came up with it together in our co-authored book, Mental Martial Arts. So in today's links, we will provide you with a copy of Mental Martial Arts, a great book with a lot of different concepts that can be used as we deal with society in general. Now, another thing I want to talk about is something that I found a little disturbing. As those of you who've been following these broadcasts know, last year I really started engaging with social media. This whole broadcast is based on my last book, We Live in a Fallen World: How to Be a Light in the Midst of the Darkness. And one of the areas of darkness that exists in society is social media, the internet in general. There's a lot of negativity there. And in order to combat that negativity, we have to share and express light. Not just myself, but everyone should take part in expressing light over the internet and social media. One of the things that I've seen, and it's disturbing to me, is that I see a lot of postings about people who supposedly have passed away. The problem is they haven't passed away. So people who are making those inaccurate postings for whatever reason, to get clicks or whatever the reason, they're doing it. They are participating in an activity of darkness. Now, these attacks, these negative postings of a person's death or demise, and it's normally focused on celebrity figures, people like me, common people, really won't experience these types of attacks. But regardless of the fact that it's geared towards celebrity figures, it should not be encouraged. It should be condemned. Whether they're a celebrity or not, they're still people. They're still individuals. We don't know these people personally. We just know what the media has portrayed them to be. But one of the things we do know is that they're human beings. And being a human being, they deserve a certain amount of respect. and posting something saying that a person has passed away when they really have. The only word I can use to describe it is evil. So, what do we do about it? Well, one of the things we probably need to do if we're going to share our light is condemn it. Don't be afraid to speak against that kind of stuff. If you see something negative about somebody who's died that hasn't died, make sure that you express how wrong it is. And maybe, just maybe, those who are in control of those social media platforms will start doing things to discourage that type of negativity from being there. We know that there's a lot of negativity and a lot of darkness on the internet, but we want to combat that darkness with light. Well, that's all I got for this week. I want to thank you guys for listening. I hope you gained something. Remember, there are always the links that you can download. There's the link for the Sharing the Light community. There's a link for the Blessing Closet. Now, this is the first official week in April. And if you see this message on Monday, that means yesterday was Easter Sunday. So we pray that you were able to really embrace the holiday. Well, this is Lance Dixon. That's all I have. Signing out.